Alright, first time visiting the parcel locker in 2020. In fact, it's actually my first time visiting the parcel locker for about a year and a half. I think we've got a very special package to pick up today, so let's do it. Just as I expected, parcel from Canada. That can only mean one thing, the return of Vincent. Yes, let's do it. Okay guys, let's do it. Let's get into another Disney Blu-ray update slash unboxing video. Hasn't been that long since I did my last one of these. In fact, I did my last one last month. Usually I wait a couple of months in between, like 3 or 4 months, stockpile a bunch of stuff up and then do a proper update video. But of course, most of you guys know that I've just spent the best part of the last 2 years over in the UK. So I've had a bunch of stuff that I've been able to do 2 videos in pretty rapid succession. The last video covered all the stuff that I picked up in the UK, a bunch of stuff old mate Rick picked up for me in Australia while I was away, and a bunch of stuff that Disney over in the US sent me as review copies for some of their most recently released films. They sent them over to me to do an unboxing and a review and all that stuff. Been very, very lucky recently to strike a very good relationship with those guys over there at Disney in the US. But this here, this is an awesome package. These are the ones that we wait for. These come in probably maybe 2 or 3 times a year, maybe every 3 to 6 months we get one of these. And this is from our good mate Vincent over in Canada. Now, regulars to the channel will be celebrating. Yes, Vincent sent another package. Those new probably don't know who Vincent is. I'll give you a quick background. Vincent is a mate of mine who lives over in Canada. He's a member of the Disney Movie Club who, of course, produce all these great exclusive titles that you can only get through the Disney Movie Club. A bunch of older catalog titles and stuff get released straight to Blu-ray over there and then really never released anywhere else in the world. So my good mate Vince picks up all these things for me through the Disney Movie Club. I send him off the money and then he stockpiles enough up to send me a couple of times a year. Now Vince was also buying me a bunch of just the regular releases as well for a little while there, but now that most of that stuff is coming to me direct from Disney, I haven't had to get Vince to pick up all that stuff for me either. But this packet here, this is again about 2 years worth of pickups from Vince. There is going to be Disney Movie Club exclusives in here. There is also going to be some regular releases as well in here too. They're kind of the last batch of those regular releases that I got him to pick up for me. It's going to be a hodgepodge of stuff. As I said, this is like 2 years worth of stockpiling. There's going to be a few 2-year-old movies in here. There's going to be a few more recently released stuff as well. So it's a little bit of a time capsule as well. I'm not going to waste too much of your time. Let's get into it. I've got my little scalpel here. We're going to be, well, actually there's 2 there. We've got to be very careful with these, like medical grade scalpels. I don't want to slice my finger off. But let's do it. Let's crack into this and have a look at what Vince has sent over this time around. Next level. As he always does, Vince packs stuff very, very, very well. Look at this. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. And actually, this got opened up by the, check out that. This is the first time this has ever happened, actually. But I think they're clamping down on stuff now that they're actually charging import taxes. But who knows? Maybe there's just a whole bunch of stuff in this and they just had to meet a quota. Let's keep unboxing. Alright, so there we go. That is, oh, almost dropped it all. Alright, so there we go. There's all the stuff that Vince has picked up for me over these last couple of years. I'm going to organize these into kind of little sections and then we're going to go through them. So just allow me a couple of moments to do that right now. Alright. Alright, so we've got everything in little piles now. Now we're going to get straight into having a look at all this. There's quite a bunch of stuff here, so let's try and get through it as quickly as possible. First off, we'll have a look at the, I guess, Disney live action stuff. There's only one title here. That's Disney live action, other than a couple of Disney Movie Club exclusives, which we'll leave right to the end. This one here, I guess, we'll start with. It is the complete 7th season of Once Upon a Time. This is a show that I've been a bit touch and go with over the years. I loved the first season. The second season was okay. Third season, I started to feel like I was getting a little bit tired of it. Fourth season, I feel like I started watching it, I dropped off, I started watching it again, I dropped off, I started watching it again, and then I think I got into season 5 and then dropped off again. I really do need to try and just pick it up again and just try and power through, because I do really enjoy this show, and it's easy to watch. Some of the later episodes, of course, aren't that great, but I'm just trying to get through them. This is season 7. It's the final season. I've heard this is probably the worst of the lot. Season 6, like most of the original actors dropped off. They got into new cast. There's a couple of old faces in there. But I've been buying them all along. Vince has been picking them up for me. And I had to have this last season just to complete that collection. So that looks like a nice little set. They always come in a little slip cover there. The earlier ones had lenticular slips, which were fantastic. But then the later couple have just gone to this plain sort of normal slip. But that is actually still quite a nice slip for that. And cool, finally finished that collection, thank the Lord, because they were quite expensive little sets, those ones. All right, let's take a look at the Disney animation titles now. There are a couple more, again, in the Disney Movie Club exclusive pile, which we will get to at the end. These ones here are more general, regular releases that Vince picked up over this time. We'll start off with this one. This is a very cool place to start. I've been very excited to get my hands on this set for almost 2 years now. This came out back in 2018 for the 90th anniversary of Mickey Mouse. It is, of course, the Celebrating Mickey Blu-ray collection. Now this set, again, to celebrate the 90th anniversary of Mickey Mouse, it's got 13 classic Mickey shorts in here, like Steamboat Willie, Band Concert, Through the Mirror, Mickey's Rival, Mickey's Birthday Party, Pluto's Party, all those great classic Mickey Mouse shorts. Lonesome Ghosts isn't on here, which is strange. It's one of the best Mickey Mouse shorts ever, and Mickey and the Seal isn't on here either. That's my favorite Mickey Mouse short of all time. But it is nice to get something. I mean, I've been waiting for years and years for them to put all the Mickey Mouse shorts out on Blu-ray or on HD somehow, but I think we just kind of resign ourselves to the fact that that's never going to happen. But it is nice to at least get something. I mean, they could have put more on here. This is only a selection of like 100 minutes worth of stuff, but this is more aimed towards like a family market, a kids market. They don't really do these collector sets for collectors like myself anymore. But like I said, it's a bit disappointing that we can't get like more than this or all of them, but it is a nice place to start. And at least I can have some kind of classic Mickey shorts or classic Disney shorts at that represented in my Blu-ray collection in some way. So there we go. We got that one right there. We also picked up this one here, which is Olaf's Frozen Adventure, which is that, what, like 20-minute Olaf Frozen short. Not that great. Little Christmassy thing. It's okay for what it is, I guess. I'm not a huge Frozen fan to begin with anyway, but I had to have this one to add to the collection, especially because this one also has what is called 6 Disney Tales. Look right there, you got 6 Disney Tales. So this one also has a bunch of classic Disney shorts in HD, Christmas-inspired ones. So like Polar Trappers, Hockey Champ, Once Upon a Winter Time, Art of Skiing, Pluto's Christmas Tree, bunch of classic Disney shorts there in HD as well, which is always nice. Usually when they do like a 20-minute special or something like that on Blu-ray, they do add a couple of the like classic shorts to kind of bulk up the runtime of the thing. Again, it's only a 20-minute short, and you're paying basically full price for like, you pay the same price for this as you would for a movie. So they do try and chalk them up with little shorts, which is nice. And that brings the runtime up to, well, only just under 70 minutes. But again, had to add that to the collection. I've got all the other Frozen things, and it's nice to be able to own some more Disney classic animated titles. Once again, classic shorts on Blu-ray. So there is Olaf's Frozen Adventure. And finally, from the Disney animation pile, we got The Lion King on 4K, which I'm very, very, very excited about. This is, of course, one of my favorite Disney animated films of all time. It's the very first traditionally animated film Disney put on 4K. They have, of course, released quite a few more, such as The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Princess and the Frog. They all look stunning, and I'm really, really excited to have a look at this. Again, my absolute favorite of the bunch. This is the Signature Collection edition, of course. I did buy the regular Signature that came out on Blu-ray a few months before this one, so I had to go back and pick this one up again. For Little Mermaid and Aladdin, I just picked up the 4K, I didn't bother buying the Blu-ray as well. Beauty and the Beast is out next month, so again, that's another one I'm going to have to double dip on the Signature edition of, but again, very excited to have this in the collection, and I'm very excited to check that one out on 4K. So there we go. While we're looking at animated titles, let's take a look at some Pixar ones. We've got 2 4Ks here and a Blu-ray. We'll start with the Blu-ray. It is Pixar Short Films Collection Volume 3. This is a really, really nice slip. Look at that. Really nice kind of rainbow holofoil effects on there. I love when they do that. Disney really excel with this. Now, of course, as this is Volume 3, Disney have done Pixar, sorry, have done 2 previous volumes of these. They just basically compile all of their shorts, and by the time you've got all the collections, you've basically got all the Pixar shorts available on home media right there. So this has got stuff like Bao and Lava and a couple of the Toy Story shorts and Piper and Lou and all these just great little ones from probably the last, I guess, it doesn't have a year on there, but I would hazard a guess that the last set came out probably, I don't know, like 2010 maybe? I'm not too sure. But I think they do these, I think they do it like in 10-year blocks. I could be completely wrong by that, but it's really nice, again, to have this in the collection. This is the only one I have in a slipcover. The other 2 I bought in Australia, and I don't have slips, but this one didn't actually come out in Australia, so I had to get Vince to pick that one up for me. I'll probably make up slips for the other 2, or if anyone out there has the slips for Volume 1 and Volume 2 and don't want them, send them in to me. Let me know. We got these 2 right here. I'll show these together because they're a little bit of a pair, I guess. We got The Incredibles and The Incredibles 2 in 4K. We'll switch them around like this. Of course, this was, I think, can't remember if it was this or Wreck-It Ralph. I think it was this. This was the very first like catalog animation 4K Disney released. So I was in Australia when Incredibles 2 came out in the cinemas. So this came out on 4K to coincide with that coming out in cinemas, which means Vince picked this one up before I even left for the UK. That's how long he's been sitting on some of this stuff for. And this one here, Incredibles 2, of course, came out while I was in the UK. It was one of the first, I think, that actually did come out, because I picked up the 3D while I was over there. So now I've got the 4K as well. It's nice to have both of them, and that means I've got all the Pixar on 4K now, apart from the 4 or 5 that are being released, I believe in a couple of weeks' time, next month, actually. I will be doing a video about them as well, if I haven't uploaded it already by the time I get this up. So yeah, nice to have the 2 Incredibles. A bunch of my Pixar 4Ks don't have slipcovers, but I had to import this from America. Very, very excited about this, because this includes a bonus features disc that was never included in the original Australian release of the disc. It was just excluded for some reason. It was just a single disc release. And of course, the the Australian 4K release of this doesn't have the special features disc either. So I had to get Vince to import that one. I had to get Vince to import that one to me. So there we go. Very excited to have both of them. Love this movie, and I'm very excited to see that in 4K. All right, we've got a bunch of Marvel stuff here as well, which is very, very, very exciting. We got these 2 right here, which are the Avengers, the first 2 Avengers films as part of these like 4K re-releases that they've done. I actually really like the covers of these. Like, look at that. They're actually really nice covers. When I saw pictures of these on the internet, I thought, oh gee, they're awful. They're so lazy. But in hand, they're actually really nice, and I like the shiny. Now, these are the last 2 from that collection of like back catalog 4Ks that I needed. Finally, I've got all the Marvel MCU films on 4K, which is absolutely awesome. So I'll add them to that collection. And of course, I managed to get Vince to pick me up Avengers Infinity War as well, which again came out, this came out very, very soon after I went to the UK as well. So this was one he's been sitting on for quite a while as well. Of course, Endgame has come out at cinemas and on Blu-ray since then. So this is one that's been sitting around for a while. So I'm very excited to finally have Infinity War on 4K as well. Now this one is not as old. This is the film that came out, of course, after Avengers Infinity War, and I'm very excited. It is Ant-Man and the Wasp, and how cool is this cover? Check this out. Okay, look at this, lenticular. I mean, this is the first lenticular cover Disney have done in the US for a very long time. They stopped doing lenticulars. They used to do them on their 3Ds all the time, but they just picked it up for this one-off, which is Ant-Man and the Wasp in 4K. And it's such a weird thing to do, but I love it. I think that's awesome. And I'm so glad Vince was able to get this, because I heard that I think the slip sold out pretty quickly. I mean, sometimes the slip covers don't stick around that long, and I believe this is one that didn't stick around that long at all. So I'm very excited to finally have Ant-Man and the Wasp. I actually do have this on 4K already. Old mate Rick picked up the Steelbook while I was away, because it's just a really awesome Steelbook. Got it cheap, I think it was part of a 2 for $40 or something. But of course, I've got all my Marvel 4K titles in slipcovers, and I needed to get a slipped edition of that as well. So that's all of those. We additionally got, these are a couple of Target exclusive titles. We'll start with this one, of course, because it is Avengers Infinity War. We picked this one up, it's awesome. Vince did open this one up because I wanted him to send me over the digital code while I was away. Try and find a way to watch it. Didn't work, of course, but it is what it is. We'll open this up and give you a quick look at it. I'm very excited to see this myself. Oh, very cool. Now, I don't have too many of these Target exclusive ones. I think I have a couple of Star Wars ones up there, but Infinity War I just had to have, and I kind of feel like maybe, no, I didn't ask him to get the Endgame one. I was going to say I should maybe ask him to get me the Endgame one, but Endgame has been out for ages already, so I've missed the boat on that one, but that's okay. But I got this one right here, Infinity War, which is absolutely stunning. Look at that, really nice set. I love these posters that they did for the film, and it's nice to see that they got utilized somehow on home media. This comes with a little booklet as well in there, which we'll get out. It's like a little gallery book, and I guess it's just like little pictures and like info graphics and stuff from the movie, behind the scenes stuff, little filmmaker notes. Very, very cool. Again, I kind of feel like maybe I don't have a full set because I didn't pick up the Endgame one. But that's totally okay. That's okay. That's a nice one to have in the collection. I love that artwork. I just love that. We got one more Target exclusive here from Vince, which is Solo, a Star Wars story, which I'm very excited to get into. This one's actually thicker than this one. You'd think they'd all be about the same size, but the Solo one's a bit thicker than the Avengers one, strangely. Now, usually I would only pick these ones up like in slipped editions, but I didn't get a slipped edition for Solo because the artwork on that was exactly the same as the 3D artwork, which I already picked up over in the UK, and I already have a couple of the Star Wars ones in big, thicker editions. So I've got this Last Jedi Target edition, the Rogue One Target edition, and I've got the 3D edition of The Force Awakens, which came in like a little box set, thick box set thing. So this will go nicely with those ones, and again, this is my only 4K edition of Solo. Let's get this out and have a very, very quick look. They're stuck on there. I'm not going to try and rip that off. But there you go. Solo, a Star Wars story. The 4K box set from Target. Now, as I said, this is stuck on there pretty well, and I don't want to rip it off, but it's got a nice little Han Solo image under there. This is a very cool little pack. Now I haven't got Vince to order me the Rise of Skywalker one. Didn't really like the movie that much, and I just want to cut down on my spending recently. I've been buying too many, too many editions of movies. So I'm going to be very happy. I think Disney will send me over just like a standard slipped edition of that, and I'll be very happy with that. So there we go. That is a very, very nice little box set. You got the 4K, you got the Blu-ray in there, and you got the special edition. The special features disc as well. And as per the Avengers one, we've got a nice little booklet in there too, which has got some cool pictures there. And then, of course, just some random little bits and pieces from the movie in there. It's all stuck together, as you can hear. Very cool. Very, very cool. So that'll be nice up there with all my other Star Wars special editions. I really like that. Not a huge on the film. The film wasn't that, I didn't think was that great. It's enjoyable enough, but it's not one I'm probably going to revisit all that often. But I do have to have it in the collection, of course, and I think that was the nicest way to do it. And finally, we've got a little pile here of Disney Movie Club exclusives. Now, I've only got 4 titles here. There were about 6 released while I was overseas as well. But Vince we haven't got around to organising a package for them yet. So that will be in the next set of movies. They're things like, I think the 2 Goofy movies got released, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Natty, the Black Hole. There's a couple of other ones as well. I think, like I said, there's about 5 or 6 of them. Scarecrow from Romney Marsh. And again, we will get Vince to pick them up for the next round, which hopefully won't be too long. I believe, now that I've gone through all these, there's a couple of other titles that are missing. I think Christopher Robin on Blu-ray I got him to pick up, and the Wreck-It Ralph 4K, the first Wreck-It Ralph, I got him to pick up on 4K as well. But he's held them off for the next packet because, as I said, there's a lot here, and just trying to get under weight restrictions and all that kind of stuff. So they've been held off for the next packet, and then we'll get the other Disney Movie Club exclusives as well. And then from then on, really, all we're going to be ordering from Vince are the Disney Movie Club exclusives. So we might not be doing updates all that often because they don't release them that often. And that said, now that Disney Plus is a thing, the DMC have been very quiet with releases over the last couple of months, with exclusive releases. So with Disney Plus a thing, these might be a thing of the past. So I do got to get Vince to order those ones in, and we'll show them off in the next one. But we'll take a look at the ones we got here. We got this one right here, is one I actually never really heard of before. This is one from, I think, the 1980s, probably mid to late 1980s. It stars a very, very young John Cusack, and it's called The Journey of Natty Gann. Apparently it's really good. It's one that I'm ashamed to say that I'd never really heard of before, maybe just in passing, but don't really know too much about and never seen. Looks very good. Again, it's got good reviews and stuff. People say it's a very good one, so I'm looking forward to that. I do prefer the Disney Movie Club exclusive, the Walt era classics, but I also love that they do make an effort to put out some of these like hidden gems as well. Now this one I'm very excited about. It's a Christmas film. This came out not this past Christmas, but the last Christmas. They brought this out on the Disney Movie Club. Unfortunately, because I've only got it now, I've missed out on watching it in HD. For the last 2 years, I've had to sit with my DVD of it, but that's okay. We can finally watch it in HD once. Well, not once again, but we can finally watch it in HD, and it is I'll Be Home for Christmas. This is a corny, cheesy Disney film of my childhood. I've grown up watching this movie every year since I was very, very young. I couldn't even guess when this came out, like mid-90s probably. Jonathan Taylor Thomas and a very, very young Jessica Biel as well. It's just a fun, just crazy, just again corny, cheesy Disney film from the 90s, and I adore it. I watch it every year. They finally started pumping out a few more animated titles. We haven't seen animated titles, like back catalog titles from Disney for a very, very long time. So when they finally do release a couple of animated ones, it's great. We're still waiting on The Black Cauldron, Make My Music Melody Time from the Disney animation catalog. I don't know if they're ever going to release them. I mean, The Black Cauldron's in 4K on Disney Plus, so why can't you just put it out on Blu-ray at least? But anyway, they released a couple of the Disney straight to DVD sequels, straight to VHS sequels from Disney Toon Studios, and these are the last two they did. Well, actually, the last two they did was the Goofy movies, but previously to the Goofy movies coming out, they did these two here, which is Pooh's Grand Adventure, The Search for Christopher Robin, and Piglet's Big Movie. Now, I know I will get people down in the comments below complaining that I've called these straight to DVD movies. Every time I call these straight to DVD or straight to home media movies, there is someone down in the comments that gets really, really angry. Because yes, these were theatrically released in a couple of countries around the world. I'm not sure if they were released in America, maybe they were, but these were designed as straight-to-home media movies that were simply released theatrically to just cash in on a little bit. They had very, very small runs. I think Pooh's Grand Adventure might have actually done fairly well theatrically, but that doesn't change the fact that they were made by the home media arm specifically for home media release. So don't get angry with me, please. Just chill out. It's okay. Don't get angry down in the comments. But there we go. I'm excited because Pooh's Grand Adventure was one that came out when I was very young. Again, I would guess very like mid 1990s. Piglet's Big Movie, I'm not sure is one I ever saw. I think that was probably later 90s or maybe even early 2000s. And it's just one that just really escaped me. But I am a fan of Pooh. Get a better look at the covers there. I do like the artwork on them there. I am a fan of Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh Bear, I'm a fan of, and I just had to have these ones, of course, as a completist of the DMC exclusives, but also as a big Winnie the Pooh Bear fan. So, very, very excited there. That's all the titles that Vince picked up for this time around. We've got some Disney Animation, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and Disney Movie Club exclusives there as well, which is really awesome. Now, as usual, Vince always does like to pack in a couple of little goodies with my packet. He's sending me some like Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker, just sort of packaging thing. Very cool little like advertisement thing. I guess this has probably been thrown in more for packaging than anything else, but I do like that. It's pretty cool. He sent me in a couple of like little, I like these things, which are like the little movie club exclusive like little envelopes that they send stuff in, and he sent in a bunch of the like the catalogs as well, which are just cool little things that I like to have in the collection, or to at least have a look at, because these are the kind of things you don't get here anymore. And it reminds me of the days when I first started buying the Disney Blu-rays back in like 2009, 2010. You used to get a little booklet with them that detailed like the upcoming releases, like probably over the next 3 months. You didn't have to wait like a couple of weeks before release to find out what was the next one. You knew a few months in advance, and having a look at stuff like this does take me back in time when you used to get that Blu-ray, rip it open and take a look at what's coming next. So I do appreciate when Vince sends in little bits and pieces like that. It does add like a nice little personal touch to the order there. Again, Christopher Robin will be in the next Blu-ray update, hopefully. He's sending like a little Avengers luggage tag, which is cool. I guess that's like a Disney Movie Club little thing that they sent out. And what he usually does as well is sends me out a couple of these. This time around, we've got the exclusive pin for The Incredibles, which is very cool. Got a nice little collection of them there. I'm not a huge Disney pin collector, but I do have a few, and I do love these Disney Movie Club ones. Vince sends them in. Once again, Vince, thank you so much for sending in this packet. We finally got it organized and sent over after I've been away for a couple of years. Hopefully the next one won't be too far off, but it just kind of depends on when we organize the next batch of stuff. I'm patient enough. I just wait for Vince to place whatever order he needs to place, and then I'll just get him to add my stuff as well. Send him over the money, and then we get them sent out whenever we can. So again, the next one, there's going to be about 5 or 6 Disney Movie Club exclusive titles, as well as the other 2 that he's holding off for the next packet. And then from then on, we'll see how we go. As I said, there's a bunch of Disney 4Ks, Pixar 4Ks as well coming out over the next few months. There's Frozen 2 is coming out soon. We've got Rise of Skywalker will be on Blu-ray soon as well, I'm sure. And they'll probably all be in the next update video, which is probably going to be quite a few months down the line. I will, of course, keep trying to do update videos for just my normal part of the collection, my standard part of the collection. I didn't do one for January because we didn't really pick up that much in January, but maybe at the end of February we'll do one. If not in March, after there's a decent amount of stuff to pile up and go through in a video. But until then, guys, thanks so much for watching this one. I'm going to filter all this into my collection now. There is barely any room in there now, so I need to start shuffling things. I think these cabinets I can actually, well, I know, I've only just realized I can get double layers in these cabinets. So I might actually have to start doing that with the Disney stuff, because it's just so much to filter in now. Like I said, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, take it easy. If this is your first time viewing one of my videos and you'd like to see more like it in the future, then please don't forget to hit that big old subscribe button up on your screen, as well as that like button down below for that little extra support. Also, don't forget to check me out on social media, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.